I have such an amazing clip to show you from MSNBC this morning, specifically Morning Joe and the amazing journalist Joe Scarborough. He just tore into Donald Trump and the Republicans in this fantastic argument he made. But before I show you that clip and we talk about it a little bit further, I'll just contextualize first by saying I think it's pretty clear to a lot of people that Trump and the MAGA Republicans around him hate America. And I'm not saying that to be hyperbolic or be mean and, be mean to Donald Trump or generalize. I just think it's objectively true and proven. Like, if you listen to Donald Trump at his rallies, listen to the way he talks about America. He says we're a third world country, that we're a failing nation, that the economy is terrible, that our competitors on the world stage are beating us, that our military is now weak. All these brave men and women serving are now weak because it's under a Democratic president, I guess. I don't know. He just talks about the country very poorly. And to me, that shows you that Trump doesn't actually care about the country. He cares about Trump. And I think that's pretty representative of the MAGA movement. Like, a lot of his supporters put Trump above the country in their list of what matters. And that's a problem. Because America is still a great country, whether Donald Trump says it or not. We are still a great people. And Joe Scarborough talked about this fact and just decimated Donald Trump, Fox News, and the Republicans in under 3 minutes. It is such a amazing takedown that I had to share it with you folks. So I'm going to show you that clip. But before I do so, make sure to subscribe down below. It goes such a long way. I greatly appreciate it. It means the world. But here is that Joe Scarborough clip.
So Donald Trump keeps talking about how America sucks. And before he got elected, America sucked. And then he got elected, suddenly America was great. Then he lost, and now America sucks again. You're voting for a guy like that? You live in the most powerful, greatest country on the face of the earth, and you're voting for a guy that tells you every day that America sucks? What's wrong with you? Who raised you? What history did you read?
That's it.
Like, where are you from? Because you may claim to be from where I'm from, but you were not raised by the same teachers I was raised by. And you don't read. Because if you read, Mike, the facts are clear. And I'm getting tired of saying this to people who claim to be patriotic but hate America, because they're always running America down. They're always trashing America. They're always saying America's horrible. Its democracy doesn't work. We need a dictatorship if Donald Trump doesn't win. I'm tired of people running America down. And on Fox News, and I'll just say it, on Fox News, they didn't want to show Donald Trump in trial. So they got 3 protests and said protests shut down America, basically. This weekend, there were like 4 migrants and a hound dog on top of a hill in New Mexico. And they had their 4 migrants and a hound dog cam on for hours. There's right now, I'm looking up the hill, and there are 2, 3. I see a coyote. That's a hound dog, Bob. Okay, a hound dog. I mean, this is a world. They give their viewers anything to try to make America look bad. They are obsessed on trashing America when America is stronger, more powerful than ever before. Its economy stronger and more powerful than ever before. So what do? They find a trans athlete in Utah. Our world's coming to an end. Help us, Jesus. The country ain't the country I was raised in. No, it's better. It's stronger. We're more powerful. Our military's more powerful relative to the rest of the world. Our economy is stronger relative to the rest of the world. But you would never know this because they are fed a steady stream of hate America first rhetoric, which I suppose is why you have the chairman of the House GOP saying that some of those dupes, backbenchers, are actually clinging to pro-Russian propaganda and spreading it across their districts, across America, and across the House floor.
Yeah, wow. Blown away. So well put, so well articulated, very well thought out. And everything he said was true, right? We just kind of talked about the fact that, Trump really just talks about America poorly all the time. There's not a day he goes without saying, oh, this is bad about America, or this is bad. Right now, his target is the justice system. Previously, it's been the military. Previously, it's been our democracy, as we saw on January 6th. There's not a day that goes by where Donald Trump is just celebrating America, celebrating who we are. When Obama was president, he said it was terrible. And then the day he took office, suddenly America became great and it's fantastic. And then the day that Biden took office, suddenly it's a mess again, completely unrelated to him, right? But he never talks positively about it, even though the Democrats can recognize that even when a Republican is president, America is still a good country. Like when George Bush Jr. was in office, we have fundamental disagreements with him as a person. But we can recognize that our institutions, our system of justice, our system of government is unique on the world stage, and that we have unique rights here that make us a great country. I would describe us as a great country, proud to be an American. But the Republicans just don't feel that way. And I think there's such a contrast here with the Democrats and Donald Trump as you're seeing it right now. You'll never hear Joe Biden call us a third world country. You'll never hear him say that we're failing and that the military is weak and all these things that Donald Trump says. He is always saying, I am more hopeful than I've ever been before. He says he believes in America and he believes in all Americans, regardless of whether they voted for him or not. It is an optimistic view for the country. That is someone who has dedicated their lives to public service and making people's lives better. Whereas Trump is the complete opposite of this kind of rhetoric. As we just mentioned, constantly slamming America. And, he and his cult are always putting himself over what's good for the country. And, slamming the country is good for them because they say, oh, Trump's going to come in and solve it, right? But Trump is never saying, you know what, I have disagreements with Joe Biden, but we can agree on the fundamentals of this country. We can agree on the things like the Constitution, the justice system, etc., the whole list. Never. He never says that. I'm going to, me, 21 years old, I want to vote for the people who have hope for the country. People who actually recognizes that there are challenges, that there are things that we could be doing better. Undoubtedly, we are not perfect. But recognize those challenges and wants to take them on, as opposed to just saying, oh, America's so bad. It's so terrible. The country sucks. It's only good if I'm there. Right? That's not a way to lead, and it's not a way to speak if you are, planning on being the next president of the United States. And man, oh man, did I love his point on Fox News, because it's so true. It's just so true. Fox News also falls into this category of America hater, right? Just constantly. They didn't cover the Trump trial because it doesn't fit their narrative and kind of right-wing push that they have on their network. Instead, they go for these little tiny stories that are happening in tiny counties around the country to try to amplify a Republican conservative message. As Scarborough said, they'll find a trans athlete somewhere and try to make that an issue. Or they'll find a migrant crossing the border, which still happened under Trump, and they'll say, uh-oh, look at that, get it on camera, film it, right? And then they'll blast it on Fox News for 3 days, and then they'll move on to the next issue that they come up with. And that is so, emblematic, I think, of the Republican Party and kind of what we're talking about now. And they contribute so much to this America-hating view. And it's just bad for the country. When you're constantly portraying a vision that everything is falling apart in the country, everything's so bad, if Donald Trump doesn't win, the country's not going to be standing anymore. It's please, get over yourselves. The country's still standing right now. Joe Biden is president. We still have all of our things. You're still going to the grocery store and making dinner for you and your family. You're going home and relaxing. You're working your job. The country hasn't fallen apart. He's not the one threatening democracy. If you turn on Fox News, you will never hear about the positive things that are happening in the United States right now. You will not hear on Fox News them talking about the fact that Biden has created 15 million jobs, that we have the best recovery among G7 countries, that wages are outpacing inflation, that wages are rising rapidly, that inflation has fallen rapidly, that gas prices have gone down dramatically, that Biden passed policy that Trump couldn't, like an infrastructure bill. Biden restarted the economy with the American Rescue Plan, that he passed the first piece of major firearm regulation in 30 years, that he capped insulin at $35 a month for seniors on Medicare, that he expanded healthcare for veterans exposed to burn pits abroad, that he brought back manufacturing in a huge way, 800,000 manufacturing jobs under his presidency, that he appointed the first black woman to the Supreme Court, that he restarted the cancer moonshot program that looks to reduce cancer deaths by half in the coming decades by expanding research and therapeutics, you won't hear that on Fox News. You will not hear it. Those are all good things that I think every American can get behind. We can all say, yeah, healthcare for veterans is great, but you won't hear it on Fox News. And instead, they paint this narrative that everything that Biden does is terrible and that he's responsible for all this chaos. You know, you'll have one migrant cross the border. They'll put the camera on him and say, that's Joe Biden's fault. Everybody, right there, has to be Biden. It can't be anything else that's happening around the world. It has to be because of, right? It's so terrible for the country. And I want to make it clear that I'm not against political disagreement, but what I am against is the way that Trump and these Republicans talk about all of us. Because I think that the majority of Americans, you know, your moderates, you know, people who are actually interested in making the country better are good people. They're not, you know, the fringe MAGA lunatics, the people who want a dictatorship, they don't fall in that category. But, you know, if we have a fundamental disagreement on politics, no problem. I don't think you're a terrible person. If you're an independent, I don't think you're a terrible person. If we agree, obviously, I don't think you're a terrible person. MAGA and the Republicans think that not only you're a terrible person, but you're damaging the country, you're damaging our justice system, you've rigged it all, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on, the conspiracy theories go on, yada, yada, yada. You've all heard it before. But really, like, it is important, I think, to have leaders who have positive outlooks on the country and like an actual vision for making it better and like have a track record showing that they tried to make it better, which Joe Biden does, Donald Trump doesn't. I think that's important. I want my leaders to be optimistic. I want my leaders to be hopeful. And you never hear a hopeful word come out of Donald Trump's mouth if he is not in power. If he's president, apparently magically everything is great. Everything, every little aspect of the country is great. And if you point out a bad aspect, that's automatically fake and that it's completely made up. But when he's not president, when he's not in power, everything is garbage. And, oh, God, it's just blah, blah. So I do think there's such a interesting contrast here with how Democrats are just the party who, like, believe in America. You know, Republicans try to claim that they're the patriotic ones, America first. But it's really the Democrats who are the patriotic ones, the people who love the country. We can recognize the issue the country has and want to make them better. Like, we love America, but recognize that it's flawed. The Republicans can't do that. They are unable. Certainly not Donald Trump. Donald Trump is absolutely unable to do that. Anyway, that's going to wrap up the video for now. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe down below. Drop a like on the video. Comment. Let me know what you think. Share the video with anybody you think needs to see it. And as always, I greatly appreciate the support, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.